Turning next to the latest in the war between Israel and Hamas, a UN agency says Israel is restricting aid shipments into Gaza. This is video from Gaza City over the weekend showing hundreds of people scrambling to get food from a truck carrying aid. The UN's Office for Humanitarian Affairs says so far this month only a quarter of the planned relief shipments were able to reach northern Gaza. That's a drop of nearly 50% from December. The UN agency blames Israeli restrictions on aid shipments into Gaza, and the top UN officials say starvation is increasingly a threat. Israel denies its restricting aid shipments and accuses Hamas of seizing relief convoys. Both the UN and the U.S. reject that claim. Abby Kugathasan is with us with more on the war. And let's begin, Abby, with the discussion over the ongoing threat of a wider conflict. The U.S. military is today saying it shot down another missile fired at one of its ships in the Red Sea. What do we know about that incident?
Heather, that comment coming from the U.S. military regarding this incident that they say took place on Sunday, that they intercepted and shot down an anti-ship cruise missile, that it was done by a fighter jet, an American fighter jet that was fired by the Houthis. This was the first such Western action since the United Kingdom and the United States attacked Houthi targets in Yemen. Now, we know the Houthi group has previously said that it will continue attacking commercial ships in the Red Sea until Israel stops attacking Gaza. This has been an ongoing situation for several weeks, and this has caused much concern in various global capitals, given the importance of the Red Sea corridor to global trade. Now, I spoke to an Oxford economist about this, given that 12% of global trade goes through the Red Sea and through the Suez Canal. Here's what he had to say.
At the moment, I'm not sure it's something that we're losing huge amounts of sleep over as economists in terms of the overall macro impact. What we would have to see is sort of firm signs, I think, that this was going to be a lot more sustained, and that was causing, wider supply problems, further spikes in prices to really be concerned about changing the outlook for the global economy.
Now, it was last week that the United States and the United Kingdom launched those strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. Now, both President Biden and Prime Minister Sunak did that without congressional support in Washington and without the backing of the UK Parliament in London. Both leaders have faced some criticism for taking that action, especially given the concern, particularly in Western countries, about this conflict potentially escalating. So we know that Rishi Sunak will be speaking in the Commons later. He'll be answering questions about the decision that he has made. And it is worth mentioning that Canada did play a role in these strikes led by the United States last week, providing logistical support. Canada also joined some other countries, including Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, and New Zealand, to show their support for those strikes as well, Heather.
Abby, yesterday marked 100 days in this war between Israel and Hamas, and that again focused attention on the hostages who are still being held in Gaza. There's a new development there today as well.
Yes, we've seen video footage released by Hamas showing 3 Israeli hostages. They are Noah Aragamani, Itai Sversky, and Yossi Sharabi. Now, some of our viewers may remember Noah. We saw her very early in some of the footage that was released by militants on social media following the October 7th attacks. She was the woman that was sitting on the back of a motorbike as militants took her away. Now, Hamas says that they've lost contact with some of the hostages as well. They're blaming Israeli airstrikes in Gaza for that. I do want to say that the Hamas footage of the hostages contains the words, "Tomorrow we will inform you of their fate." The Israeli government says 240 hostages were taken on October 7th, and they say that more than 100 of them, Heather, remain in Gaza.
Abby, thank you very much.